and there's no peace. Peace of mind. Whole lot of drama.
Mm-hmm. That's why.
I'm not about drama.
That's why. Mm-hmm. To know and understand is why we here.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yes, indeed. Make sure I turn
Yep. And we do know this for a fact that something is bad wrong when we have all the schools, all the seminaries, all the churches, all the politicians, all the educators and scholars, and we have no peace on earth. How could that be?
Still got the secondary. So. Yeah. Yes. Peace. Just please, peace. Love and wisdom.
I hope the internet land who's listening have peace of mind. Because that's what they deserve. If they don't have it, that's what they deserve. Peace of mind.
Peace, love, and wisdom to all. This divine council meeting. Oh yes, all beautiful. One is best. Unless you want me to start. So unless y'all want me to start.
Oh, I start. It's ready to go. It's time to take off.
Yeah.
This is the last two super.
Yep, last three super. I hope everybody get it. This is the last, as the old saying, last call for alcohol when they're in the bar. But we ain't in the bar. We standing in truth.
So we had started backwards.
Yeah, it
But
came
this
forward.
is,
Yeah.
This is the beginning.
Yeah, this yeah, we on three. The narrative. Super 3, the narrative. El Quasar. Narrative. There are many storytellers. And there are many narratives. But are they the true narrative? What they say, is it right or wrong? Let's get into it and see what's going on here. For you who believe, let it be said, Al-Mud, to the restorer, the one who reinstates and who brings back all. Did you hear that? So maybe I need to read it again. The restorer, the one who reinstates and who brings back all. What if somebody need to be reinstated of their sins, and who passed away or have been missing person? Who brings back all, and the third name of Allah, the infinite, the unique, the all-knowing. For there's nothing is lost from the story of humanity. It can't get no sweeter than that.
Nothing.
Think about that.
Yeah, nothing. Let's go into it.
Think about that. Nothing
Yeah.
is lost
Yes.
from the story. From anything that's been said, from sweet Jesus to Abraham and Moses, and the list goes on, and the prophet Muhammad and Noble Drew Ali.
And including yourself.
And thank you, sir.
So
I appreciate
it's very,
that.
it's, yeah,
I
it's
appreciate
very, no, this is about knowing.
Including yourself.
Yes, this is
Beautiful.
specific
This thing
about.
is personal.
This is it's specifically about understanding and knowing the knowledge of self. So when it comes to this statement, we need to understand that this is a very big statement covering anything that comes into life,
Yes,
but
indeed.
importantly, humanity.
Yes, indeed.
So when it comes to philanthropic actions, philanthropy, this is the biggest act of philanthropy.
Yep.
That nothing is lost.
Nothing is lost.
So anything that could be thought of that you were saying about thinking, none of that included can be lost, because that's part of humanity.
Right on.
So ain't nothing, we got to remember, ain't nothing uncreated. See, this is taking us back to the very beginning. Before in the beginning.
Thank you. Before any Bible was printed or any Holy Quran was wrote or printed or any book. Come on with it, son.
Oh, I'm just listening as well as bringing exact what we need to understand how everybody has played a pivotal role into the collective understanding of the identity of who we are.
Right on.
So as it was said by Elijah Muhammad, that Islam has no birth record. So this goes back to bringing the validity of that statement.
Right on.
If Allah is the creator of creation, and Allah is the bringer of Islam, Islam didn't arrive through Muhammad in the 7th century.
Thank you.
Islam already existed.
Thank you.
And so when it became the name Islam
Beautiful.
in the 7th century, this belongs to Allah.
Yes, indeed.
And now that we beginning to collect all understandings from our divine teachers and the masterminds of incline, when we talking about what they left behind, there go the lineup and the proof. If we go get the Theology of Time out the library, or the Black Man, the Message to the Black Man, you will see this lineup. Islam has no birth record.
Right on.
Because the same way with its creator.
Right on.
So anything coming from the creator cannot be lost.
There you go.
So this is something we need to understand as a collective, but more importantly as an individual. Because the individual is what adds to the collective. That if nothing is lost, then what are we really doing with life? Why do we really need to understand life? What connection does life have with myself?
Right on.
This is what a good beginning point as you read and keep breaking it down. Nothing is lost as we keep going forward, because we're going to hear about different stories.
Oh yeah.
The black man lost his identity. The black woman lost her identity.
Yeah.
The black children don't have no identity.
Yeah.
Lost their mind.
Yeah.
These are critical angles of today.
Yeah.
That if you have a voice and a platform to speak and bring justice to any form, then you shall be able to do it in these forms.
That's correct.
Because all it takes is to hear.
That's right.
And then if you take the ear and you hear and do, you shall set yourself free and bring yourself out of the bondage wheel into the free wheel.
Right on. Because for some reason, somehow in our lifetime, we know we do get lost in the things that we do, and even the truth that we have heard before, that some of the things are missing. And we've been warned and been told that falsehood and truth is strangely mixed. And and then many stories has been told on humanity. Now we know this for a fact.
I'm glad you bringing that up.
Oh yeah. This thing is big.
It's big, and we got to know
This
the
thing is
beginning.
big.
And once we know the beginning, this
so
is a critical topic.
it's time. Because see, if we missed the boat or missed the picture or didn't get it right, or fallen short, then we have a narrative, which is the third name of Allah, that tells you you can be at ease, because here's the solution. Here's the remedy. I have it.
This is very important.
If you missed it, and if you didn't, in gaining your knowledge and with your wisdom, and you thought that you had it right, but you still came up short. This is what we're going to talk about today.
And I want to interject the etymology of the word lost. The word lost means wasted, ruined, spent in vain, gone astray. So when it comes to Allah, that can never happen.
Look at here.
Have you heard of the word nothing?
Yes.
Well, nothing is lost from the story of humanity.
Yeah.
So including who you are in this reality we calling life.
Yeah.
So it's always somewhere, but we got to figure out where is that somewhere.
Right on, brother. Right on.
So we get in the narrative to the beginning before there was a in the beginning.
Beautiful. 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 I'm glad you mentioned that about life, because we all have life, and some of us just don't know what to do with our life. Now, ain't that a problem? Everybody has life, but just don't know what to do with it. We're talking about the story of humanity and the purpose of life and what to do with it.
And we are under the subject matter today in our great council meeting under the word narrative.
Narrative.
So we want to know and understand
Right on.
for self what is narrative.
Yeah.
We're going to get the true definition from the Sufa,
Right
but
on.
just to give your left hemisphere something to bounce off of,
Yeah.
here come the left hemisphere, narrative.
Yeah.
A tale, a story. So we finna get
A true story.
a true story, a true account.
Ooh-wee.
We just want to know this is a biographical, historical account.
Yes, indeed.
just like humanity
Yes,
is a
indeed.
historical account.
Yes, indeed. And we do know this, that the listening ear have heard many accounts.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Number 5. The story of our beginning. Did you hear that, y'all?
Mm-mm.
We just read that nothing is lost from the story of humanity. So now it's the super finna narrate the story of our beginning. Because you have heard once upon a time that in the beginning was the Word.
And so this is very important right here.
Yes.
Our,
Ow.
not God.
Yeah.
Our.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna see
No
there's
fiction.
no, you don't see
Yeah.
God coming up on the
Yeah,
literary text.
That's right. That's right. It said the story of our beginning,
our.
not the beginning of God.
Not in the beginning. The story of our beginning.
Our beginning.
Meaning we all a part.
Oh, yes, indeed.
As the Grand Circle 7 says.
Yes, indeed.
No man lives unto himself.
Oh, we.
This is the story of our beginning.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
Time never was when man was not.
Oh, yes.
So as we continue,
Number 6 says, the story of how we came to be men and women. Now, is that important or not?
it's such a
Do
beautiful
you
account.
have the answer to what was just read? The story of how we came to be men and women. 7 said, from the soul of the earth and the light of the stars. We want to talk a little on that a little bit. Because
Yes, on 6 and 7.
you've heard from the book of Genesis that he took a little earth and took a little clay and molded and shaped it. But you know what? In that beginning of the Genesis, it speaks about the earth, but I didn't hear the part of the light of the stars. Now somebody telling the story of how everything got started in the beginning, but you omitting something here. But we gonna move on.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
So as I get the reference on the screen so people, viewers, can see.
Okay. Yeah.
Genesis,
Oh, you pulling it
which
right
people
on.
have an account of
Good.
as a creation story.
Mm-hmm.
In the account of Genesis, it's broken down into days. So first day,
Yeah.
creation was created. Second day, all the way up to the 6th day.
Okay.
On the 6th day, man was created.
Okay.
He indeed created them, male and female. Rest on the 7th day. Now, let's see as this account continues.
Yeah.
Because this is a 1611 KJV understanding version.
Yeah.
So now, once we shift from Genesis account to the Sufa account, which predates the KJV account,
Yeah.
we have no consideration of days.
It sure doesn't say anything about that.
It tells us in number 6, this is the story of how we
Came to be.
came to be.
Mm-hmm.
So our beginnings, just like the word beginning begins with be,
Yeah. Yeah.
our beginnings begins with coming to be
Right on.
men and women.
Yeah.
Now it's a difference right there. He didn't say, it don't say boys and girls or infants and child.
Kids or billy goats.
That's important right there.
It is.
Because to be is future tense.
That's right.
So a child is not born a woman or a man.
Man, that's right.
Let's say in a sense.
Yeah.
They are coming to be
Yeah.
a man
Yeah.
and a woman.
Yeah.
So that stage in between of becoming and being, this is the understanding that we're delivered through this narrative.
Yeah.
This narrative is to reinstate and bring back all
Yeah.
the restoration
Mm-hmm.
of understanding, knowledge, and wisdom,
Yeah.
to bring self free will back to its highest peak. Because the free will has been bonded by society's dark path.
Yeah.
So we have to understand the restoration process is understanding your beginnings. Now, that's Genesis. Now, in Christianity, their beginnings begin with man and sin. Let me bring that reference on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
so we
Because
can
we
see.
need to set the record straight.
Okay, so now this concerning, now with the biblical account, with sin being attached to Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
okay, to make this clear, for the true Christians, the Genesis account has 2 creation accounts. So the first Genesis is the first creation account, and chapter 2 of Genesis is the second creation account. So through the second creation account is where you get the attachment of this word called sin. Chapter 2 Genesis, read it for your own study to understand what's on the screen. On the screen we have reading that entitled Dealing with Original Sin. Now we're going to read, it states, original sin is the Christian doctrine that holds that humans, we just read about humanity, right?
Yeah.
Humans, through the fact of birth, inherited, through the fact of birth,
Through birth.
through birth.
Yeah.
Remember we just read, you just read.
Yeah. Through being born.
Through the fact of birth, inherit a tainted nature with a proclivity to sinful conduct,
Great goodness. That can't.
in need of regeneration. So this is the account of where original sin originates in the Christian theology.
That's in the Bible?
Yes, and this is what the Catholicism holds up as the church foundation. This is why you have repentance. And this is what everything connects to, this narrative right here.
What chapter and what verse that is?
This is off the internet. This is open public knowledge for those who wants to know. Type in on your Google search engine, original sin. And you will get the truth that's been hidden from you. So this is why the account of what's being brought forth is so important. Because when you line these accounts of creation up, they're not the same.
They're not the same, right?
So now we gotta
They're
say,
contrary.
if they're not the same, then which one is got to deal with wisdom?
That's right.
So Genesis 2 have brought forth that Adam and Eve have brought forth the sins of all humanity. So where it says humanity, they saying that all humanity is sinful because of the birth of Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Which is the second account creation.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the first account.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which what we reading
Yeah.
is a more richer version
Yeah.
of the first account.
Yeah. Well, what I like to ask the question, how can the liars come after which the liar didn't give life or the writer didn't, but yet he can take life and condemn it and make it sinful? And to be born and to have life. How indeed, you know what? Can someone say that precious as life is, now life is sinful? Somebody is starting to lie here. Somebody is starting to lie when you break it down.
And so let's keep that in mind. This said how we came to be men and women.
Yeah.
And then it said
And how we came into existence, it said from the earth. Now, in the book of Genesis 1 and 2, it speaks about the light of the stars in the creation.
in the first Genesis, where it's talking about the firmament. So let me pull that.
I remember reading that in one of those days that he created the firmament, which was the heaven and the earth. But that still don't coexist with what was just read. He said that we come from the earth and the light of the star. It ain't said about nothing about those 6 days and then he decided to make man, because from day 1 to 5, he was already the earth and the heaven was already existing, according to the book, to the Bible.
Okay, on let's see what. Genesis chapter 1:16. Genesis chapter 1:16. I'm gonna start at 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. 16, highlight. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. So there's no association with self. It's telling you what God did. And the narrative that we have is telling you our beginnings.
That's right.
There's no separation.
There's no separation.
Our beginnings begins with becoming men and women from. This is what is key. As I shift back to the Sufa. Number 7. From the soil of the earth. See, and now this is what goes with the circle 7, chapter 1.
Let's see what it reads.
Now seed, start right here for those who can see where it's highlighted. Now seed are perfect, are as perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed, must be planted in a soil. Now we read back to the Suf.
From the soil of the earth.
From the soil of the earth. Man must be deep planted in a soil that he might grow.
Look at this.
Unfold as does the bud unfold to show the flower.
Right on.
The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was foreordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and the plane of things made manifest.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
See, the creation accounts.
Yeah, and that's a different account too, brother. And that's in alignment with what we just read about the light of the stars.
And this is what we call Islamism.
Yeah.
And Al-Sufyan Islam.
Yeah.
This is our statecraft.
It is.
This is how we craft every state that we in, of, above, under, all around, everywhere.
Yeah.
The highest way is a state of mind. And this is why we have to understand through comprehension these different accounts. And this is why confusion, because no one ain't laying them aside.
That's right.
So when you see them lay them side by side, you have a conscience in your heart to be able to tell.
To tell something ain't right.
To right from wrong.
Right from wrong. That's what I'm talking about.
So now when we speaking about what's clear
and
what's right.
That's right.
What's not clear is what's wrong.
That's right. That's right. And you can see the translator making his move, or he was just ignorant to the fight, and he did the best he could. But I ain't gonna accept that. I know a snake when I see one, and I know when someone is trying to deceive me, Shay. I know this.
And that's why we got to bring in the last creation account just out of this section of what we're studying.
Yeah.
The New Testament, the Genesis is the Old Testament creation account.
What it said in the New Testament.
The New Testament, people don't understand that's a creation account.
All right.
So when we come in the New Testament, this is why it starts just like Genesis. We got in the beginning, John chapter 1. There go them 3 words again. In the beginning. So this is a totally new creation account granted to us.
Beginning, old and now we finna go in the new.
Granted to us by
the
New Testament.
Yeah.
So the New Testament creation account sounds like this. In the beginning was the Word.
Whoa.
And the Word was with God.
Wait a minute.
And the Word was God.
Whoa. No earth, no heaven, no firmament, no man, and no woman.
Come on with it. Hey,
I see playing with me.
I see you comprehending.
This damn jukebox, man.
I see you
Don't
comprehending.
play with me.
That's the council meeting. We got to bring it to the table.
Come on now.
These accounts, so at least the people can choose, they're afforded all accounts.
Yeah, but they begin to see clearly.
Begin
now.
to see.
The muddy water.
Right.
Or the clear water. Now.
Right.
Yeah. Internet land out there.
Right. So now it creates a new creation account. And as you just mentioned, none of that was there.
Yeah.
Now all of that now has become a new creation.
All right.
Now, are we understanding what the New Testament is using as the new creation account. The word.
The word. So now, in this here New Testament, is this a new word that you trying to push over on me? Because you were saying in the beginning was the word. What is this word? Because every word has a sound to it and associated with a name. So when you say word, could you be a little bit more specific?
See, and that's where the writers wanted in that creation account then made it that way. So people wouldn't understand that this, and if this new narrative is not of the old, the true account, then it's another road to nowhere.
That's right.
A way to lostness.
That's right.
To be astray.
Yeah.
So now people say through this new creation account of the New Testament, the new word is God, was God.
Yeah.
See, and now you have to correlate. This is why last council meeting I interjected that only one creature can speak word. So now they're given the power of that creature who can speak word. Now they giving them the power of the Almighty.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not through righteousness and holiness,
There you go.
but through the word. Not through living,
Yeah, there you
but
go.
through word.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can claim
Yeah.
you own.
Yeah.
You can claim the souls of others through word.
Yeah.
Like what it says, tainted through birth.
Yeah.
That means the birth certificate.
Yeah.
See, in they new creation story, this is how they account for the word was God.
Yeah.
And they control the birth, which is the birth certificate.
Yeah.
Now they control every word on it.
Look at this.
So now they become the God.
Sure have. This what the trick been played.
So this is the trick of why Jesus is accepted as God.
God, yeah.
Incarnated flesh.
Yeah.
Where you know that that cannot be.
Yeah, we've been duped.
And so that has happened to be because of their new creation account.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And all scholars know John is not a true gospel.
Yeah.
So back to the true Sufa, the true gospel, the everlasting gospel.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you go back and read that with what in the second beginning again?
Okay, the second beginning.
Yeah, go back and read that second beginning again.
Of the New Testament?
And read a verse or two of it.
Of the New Testament?
What you just read, yeah, the New Testament.
Okay, chapter 1, verse 1 in John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Let me pull the people up. Get that on the screen for the people.
So they could see for themselves.
Yeah, they see
ain't got
for
to take our
themselves.
word for it.
Okay.
Maybe
there
they
you go.
overlooked something.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Now, if we stop right there, and I was to stop the church right there, and I was to ask the church, who are we talking about right there? What would the church response be?
Yeah.
That's Christ. See, this is the new creation account.
That's where they come and bring Jesus in.
They bringing Jesus in slowly and saying he was with God at the beginning.
Yeah.
While the Old Testament is contrary to that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now, I want to point something out. What you just read didn't make the statement that that was Jesus.
Right. When you go to the Genesis account, when it says in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Yeah.
And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. So was there any association with that creator
No.
in the Genesis account, chapter 1?
No, chapter 1.
He was alone.
He was alone. Now,
In the New Testament account, he's not alone.
Yeah.
The same was with him in the beginning was God.
Yeah.
Number 2, the same was in the beginning with God.
Oh,
All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
This,
So-
this is the New Testament.
So this is how the Trinity is birthed. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
This is how they started creating.
Yeah.
You won't find the word Trinity in the Bible. If you read it yourself, you never seen Trinity.
I know, sure have it.
That is later day cockadoodle spaniel. This is man-made shams, taking us away from what the true account of creation is, which is the Sufa 3. How everything was really created. I hope this is good. I'm having fun.
Yeah, this a whole lot of speculation going on here too now, and then a lot of things been changing. You can see clearly that the deception going on here. I don't mean no harm, but if you can think at all, you should be able to see. Okay, let's go back to Genesis. And the part of where he said, let us make man.
Okay.
Now, cause see, some ain't adding up here now. Now, here, where we come up with let us, where we come up with us if he was alone in the first, in the Bible, in the book, first chapter of Genesis, where he was operating by himself. And all of a sudden, somebody with him now didn't say who it is, but he said, let us. And in my schooling coming up, us mean plural. Go ahead, you got it. You got it?
Yep, I got it pulled up. Genesis chapter 1:26. And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. So 27, so God created man in his own image, in the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
He, him.
And so the question is the plural, the plurality.
Yeah.
God said, let us.
Yeah.
So now it comes from a singular to a plural. That's where you get the Trinity. See, and they created a whole Trinitarian ideology of a doctrine through this. By the time you leave Old Testament and come into the New Testament, you coming into a Trinity.
Yeah.
This is the new birth and the new creation account.
For us in swing, yeah.
Right, which was stolen from a prior text, Genesis 1. See, that comes from, you have to know the science of the Kabbalah. That's how Genesis 1 was constructed and all holy texts that was compiled during those times. This was the legend or the key that created all religious texts to follow after the 12th century. But what we're reading from is pre-12th century.
Yeah, pre-12. Yeah, that's how we know when something ain't right and when something ain't.
Mm-hmm. And so this is bringing in, as you see, God created man in his own image. That's a different statement.
Mm-hmm.
Then let us make man in our image and after our likeness. Then the next line say, so God created man in his own image.
Now this in the book of Genesis.
This is in the book of
Third
Genesis.
chapter.
In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. So it bringing it back to a singular
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
instead of a plural.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why they couldn't be a little bit more specific when they say he, him, instead of saying he and she or he, him. You're talking about two individuals, but when we make the term down here, when we use the term logic and say these words here, when we say he and him, we're talking about a male. I want to be clear now.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talking about a female, we say she,
Mm-hmm.
and her.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But you said he, him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to read another verse and then I want to question or something because you said something about the baby and born a sinner right there in the one of those books. I think that was Genesis.
Yes, that's the original sin. That's what holds up Christianity.
Oh, okay, now I want to read this next verse from the super.
Okay.
The 8th verse said that we talking about where man come from, how they came. It was said from the earth and the light of the stars. Now it says in the next verse, it said the story. We talking about this creation going on now. Of the story of divine influence. Divine influence and our relationship.
Now stop right there.
Divine in influence and divine in our relationship. Our relation. Go ahead.
This what cancels out all other creation accounts.
That's what I'm talking about.
No other creation account
That's what I'm talking
includes divinity.
Mm-hmm.
So the listener and the viewer can now choose because they have been afforded the proof of existence. So now they can make a better decision to understand themselves.
Yeah.
So you either gonna understand yourself from two dichotomies,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be from the truth
Yeah.
or from the falsehood.
Yeah.
And the falsehood is gonna lead you into Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna lead you to the Old Testament Genesis and the New Testament of John.
Of John. Yeah, I want to ask you one more other question. In the New Testament, the first 4 books is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Now, when you say John, are you referring to Saint John or John 1 or John?
Yeah,
This
the
that
four
ain't
gospel John.
okay.
That's how it opens up.
Okay.
All these are creation accounts.
Okay. All right.
Creating the new
Yeah. Okay.
word.
Yeah. Yeah. You see the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why people believe but don't have any knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now when you read that, the story of our divine
Divine influence, not no sinful. This is what I'm pointing out.
that's the point.
Divine is sin.
Yes. So when we go to the word influence,
Oh, we ought to know what that means.
I'm glad you bring that up.
We always being influenced by something down here. If it ain't them prices and fuel and food.
Yeah, but we never knew about divine influence.
No.
So that means we always underestimated influence itself.
We with the influence that we haven't been born with is a sinful influence. That's been pushed. This is my point.
Now-
Sinful influence.
Now check this out. Now this is the left brain hemisphere of the definition and the etymon of influence.
Okay.
Influence is a astrological term.
Hmm.
So astro means stars.
Look at that.
Didn't we just read that we came
From the stars.
from the light of the stars? Okay, so now it's telling us influence comes from an astrological term, a star term, that says that term means streaming ethereal power from the stars when in certain positions acting upon the character and destiny of men.
Look at that there with you, please, Mr. Ladies and Gentlemen.
It's how important
Did you hear that?
the study is.
Ooh-wee. That was some powerful word definition you just read, son.
Powerful. Ethereal power.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Yeah.
See, they know about
Yeah.
streaming services
Yeah.
and live and streaming, and they using this knowledge. They using the knowledge for their understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Since we don't have the knowledge, we don't understand it, and therefore we ain't getting the greatest amount out of life.
Mm-hmm.
They know the life is controlled by the stars.
Yes, indeed.
So there's three forms that we got to pay attention to.
Yeah.
There's a soil of the earth.
Yep.
There's a light of the stars. And there's a divine influence.
In our relation.
And then, yes, these three. And then our relation
Yeah.
to these three.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So this is very important when we saying influence.
Yeah.
Influence
Yeah.
acts upon your character.
There you go. Divine influence.
So
not
now-
no,
right.
Not no any kind
So
of
now when we
influence.
put the word divine
Yeah.
in front of influence,
Yeah. We talking about truth, baby.
we talking about pertaining
Mm-hmm.
to the deity,
Mm-hmm.
proceeding
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
Allah,
Mm-hmm. And
the highest degree,
yeah.
heavenly.
Yeah.
So this is the highest peak experience that you can experience is the divine influence.
Look at it. Mm-hmm.
And we have a relation
Yeah.
to divinity.
Be right on.
So that wipes and throws the ideology and the dogma
Yeah.
of original sin.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
We could throw that baby out with the bathwater.
With the dirty bathwater. Right on, brother. Right on. And for some reason, the human family have swallowed these lies with hook and lead and zinc. Because they really believe that they are influenced by sin, being born and being a sinner and being born, just to be born and you're a sinner. I could never could accept that. I just can't. I ain't never believed that. Even if I was told that. I couldn't believe it. It just something wasn't right about it. I thought you had to act, commit something. You have to do something, not just being born and inherit something.
That's where Christianity starts. And that's why they have salvation as a course.
Mm-hmm.
So now when we see those three, now we can understand when we come into the circle 7. In the first account of the creation, it says that all finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. So when we was a child, that was finite.
Yeah.
That ceased to be.
That's right.
So we coming to be men and women.
Yeah.
Soon that's gonna cease to be.
That's gonna cease to be. Just like all my brothers that's going over here.
Right. So we have to understand.
Yeah.
Just as you didn't know that you was gonna be a man or a woman when you was a child.
That's right.
Just the same thing. You don't know what's coming after death.
That's right.
But now with the true account of creation,
now
you know what's coming.
We know what's coming. How about that?
So now I want to come into the circle 7 and show how this lines up right with it.
Yeah.
The prophet said the bodies and the souls of men are finite things. The bodies, that's the soil of the earth.
Yep.
The soul, that's the light of the stars.
Beautiful.
These both are finite things.
Beautiful.
Why? Because the Sufa says that the story of divine influence.
Yeah.
Meaning there's a realm higher than the stars. And that's called the ethereal or the ethereal power. So there's 3 levels that we have to understand. The body is one level.
Yeah.
The soul is another level.
Yeah.
Is the second level.
Yeah.
And both of these will change. From the finite point of view, you will see them, and then existence, you will see them.
No, that's right.
No longer.
That's right.
The time will come when they will be no more.
That's right.
Now, when concerning the people that we see on earth and then we see them no more, they passed on.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Now, it says, but man himself is not the body nor the soul.
How about that?
So we not the earth nor the light of the stars.
Yeah.
He/she is a spirit.
Yeah.
That goes the divine influence. And a part of Allah.
Yeah, there you go.
And that go your divine creator.
There you go.
Then it says creative fate. That's divine influence. Creative fate is the divine influence that gave to man, to spirit man, a soul that he might function on the plane of soul.
Beautiful.
Remember, it got correspondence.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful.
The divine influence gave him a body, a body of the flesh that you might function on the plane of manifest.
Beautiful.
Now, why did divine influence give to spirit man a soul that he might function on the plane of soul?
Yeah.
Why did the divine influence give to soul a body of the flesh that he might function on the plane of things made manifest?
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So these are the 3 to understand our divine creator.
Yes, indeed.
So the creative fate is akin to the ethereal power that acts upon the character and the destiny of man.
Yeah.
Which acts upon your soul, which is from a star. And this is why your body is the shape of a star.
That's correct.
You should get...
You can't deny that.
You can't deny that.
You can't deny that.
So when we talking about kin folks, brothers and sisters, We need to actually raise up the elevation of it and realize we relate it to divinity.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I want to point out two things here that you read when we were talking about the beginning. You read in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, that God did this, and God did that, and then in the New Testament, it was talking about the Word instead of God. Okay, now, let's go back to Genesis, the Old Testament and the New Testament. I noticed that the word divine is not present.
In any translation in the Bible, it's not present.
I'm just pointing that out. Because we have it here as present.
Yeah,
And when
present.
you take away divinity, you are taking away purification, truth, all the
everlasting
above.
life.
Everlasting life.
This is the most important. Is everlasting life.
Eternity. All the influence.
Now you're making something divine thinks it's below
Below
animal.
that. That's right.
This is what Christianity have done through their translators.
That's what they have done.
They have corrupted the true accounts of creation
They have.
and have confused the people for selfish gain.
That's right.
They are self-serving demons
That's right.
who are calling themselves Illuminati.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The people who run, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the Pope
Yeah.
and
All of them.
his host.
Yeah.
All these people
Yeah.
are saying they the collective grim reaper
Yeah.
of the earth
Yeah.
and savaging all souls, spirits, and bodies.
Brother, that's exactly what's going on, people.
But you can't savage a soul or a spirit in a body if they got the right mind.
That's correct. That's correct right there. And seeing this what been done to the melanated peoples of the earth, that someone have hijacked their mind. Can I read this next verse?
Please.
And this is where the hijacking come in at. Number 9. Even if false words, y'all, and false claims be inserted. Now this where the deception comes in at. Can I remind everybody that there's been a claim been laid on this land, what they call the United States of America? And they proclaimed this right here, that Columbus was the one that discovered America. And in 1611, King James authorized and translated the Holy Bible. We claiming him something now. Let me read 9 again. Even if false words and false claims be inserted. Did you get it? Did you get my point? Did you get my drift? There's been some lying going on, just straight to the point.
Straight to the point. Men with that New Testament
With
creation,
the false words.
they use false words.
Yep.
And these false words made false claims.
Claim. Yep. It's what I'm pointing out.
So now we understanding not this word divine. When you look up the word divinity, Divinity is an old word that's related back to the 1300 that says the science of divine things, comma, theology, the quality or character of being divine.